girls. I'm going to show you how to make another book using one piece of paper. This one you're going to need some tape and a pair of scissors for. So again, I'm using a colored piece of paper because white would be hard to see on my table. You guys can choose whatever color or type of paper you would like. And I've decided that I want my book to have some more pages. So I'm going to be taking this paper and folding it in half. Which is going to make my pages smaller in size, but it's going to give me some more paper. So let's start there. Fold down the edge, and you can either fold it back the other way and make a really nice crease like this. Maybe crease it on the table. And you can tear gently and get a nice straight line. Or if you have a pair of scissors, you can get your scissors out and cut nice and straight and slow along that line. And there we go. Now, if I was doing this with one piece of paper, I could do that, but my pages would end up very, very skinny. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two pieces of paper and tape them together to have one long piece of paper that's so long it goes out of my camera view. I had masking tape at my house, so that's the kind of tape I'm using. You guys use whatever tape you have laying around. If you have some nice invisible tape, you could use that. Or use masking tape. It's okay. It's a homemade book. You could find a way to maybe decorate it, color it in. Maybe I color it in with an orange crayon or a marker or something to make it blend in a little bit more if I really wanted to, but it doesn't bother me too much, so I'm going to leave it how it is. Now, for this, I'm going to use the tape part as my center. If I was using one piece, I would fold it in half and find the center that way, but since I've got this taped on here, and the tape needs a little extra fold, so I really, as I even use my finger now, do that. So that's folded in, and now I'm going to fold in the edges nice and neatly and slowly, carefully line those edges up, push them down so they don't wiggle, and then smush down to make a nice fold. Do the same thing with the other side. Fold that edge in, line everything up, and then push so it doesn't wiggle, and smush to make that nice fold. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to take our new edges that we have and fold them towards the middle this way. So again, line everything up. This means that you move a little slower, you check things, make sure they're perfect before you smush it down. It's a little trickier to fix a fold than it is to make one. So I like to make sure everything's perfect and then smush it down. So now I have a lot of folded edges. I'm going to unfold the whole thing. Here we go. Now, this is going to become my front cover, and I'm going to make sure my paper folds kind of zigzag back and forth to make my book. Now, some of my paper wants to fold this way, but I'm actually going to tell it that it needs to go that way. But since there's a fold already there, it folds very easily that way. I'm going to go like this and this and this, this and this and this. I now have a front cover, right? Like this, so that I could open it up, turn the pages like this, and a back cover just like this. What I put in here is now up to me, and what you guys put in yours is up to you. So let's see if I can sit down. Maybe I'll come up with something and see what we've got. All right, boys and girls, here's what I came up with. I came up with a story. I decided to call it The Seed. You'll see why in a minute. Wrote the title, right? That's the name of the story on the front. And then I wrote illustrated by an illustrator. Remember, that's the person that draws the pictures in a story. And since that was me, I wrote Mrs. Lurie on it. So as we open the book, here's my seed. And here's what happens to it. Someone makes a little hole in the ground and puts it inside and covers it over. Sun shining down. Starts to grow some roots under the ground. Starts to come up out of the dirt. More roots as it gets stronger and stronger. It gets taller and taller. And then under the ground, and there it is. It's, oh. And finally, it becomes a beautiful flower with some nice strong roots. Now, the cool thing about these books is that you can read them like a regular book and turn the pages like this. But because we made it the way that we did, you can also open up the whole book, nice and long. It's hard to see everything on my screen, but it makes one beautiful picture. And it also is a great way to kind of tell a story, or to tell how something happens, right? To say this happens and then that happens and then that happens. So here's my story. Here's my beautiful book. This is what I did with what we made. And hopefully you guys will get some good ideas and be inspired to make a book of your own that maybe has some just pictures in it like mine does. Maybe it's got some characters. Maybe you add words to your story. It's up to you. When you make the book, you get to decide what goes in it. And I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. So keep creating. Get to work. I want to see some books and hear some stories. Bye, guys.